Hi everyone, welcome to today's episode of Covers Under Covers. Unfortunately, we will not have clips of the covers we're talking about today, but if you're interested in listening to them or checking them out, we do have a playlist with every cover that we've covered and the original song. So head to our link tree and check them out. Thanks so much.
Hi everyone, my name is Brenda.
I'm Maria.
Hello, my friends. This is withVinylBenjy.
And this is Covers Under Covers, and we're super excited. We've got Vinyl at withVinylBenjy on Instagram with us here today. He's our second guest. And today we decided we're going to go with a theme. And because Benjy's going to be on this episode, it was only right that we picked a theme that he would really love. So without further ado, this is our Beatles episode.
I'm really excited.
Covers. Yes.
Yes. So, Benjy, first of all, for people who don't know you, would you like to share a few fun facts about you?
Sure. My name is Benjy. I've been collecting records for over 12 years. I'm from New York, and I'm a huge Beatles fan. And I'm also a nice Jewish boy. Yeah.
Yes, I can confirm those things are true.
For those of you who don't know, Brenda and her sister Val have come to my house. They came over the summer. We had a nice dinner together while they were in the city. I would have met them in the city at the time, but I had just had brain surgery. And so they were kind enough to come all the way to Long Island to see me. And it was like one of the highlights of my crazy summer.
Yeah, we also just really wanted to find the Long Island medium. That's something I didn't tell you. I was hoping I would run into her at some point, but she wasn't there.
I've never even run into her.
Like I was thinking like maybe I should go to your supermarket or something. And then like I would get a tap on the shoulder. Excuse me, ma'am. Do you have a father that passed or something? I don't know. Anyway. So Benjy, would you like to go first and share your cover with us?
My Beatles cover. Oh, my.
Yeah.
I was expecting to play one today, but I have a list of some really, really good ones. Well, I have, I am a diehard Beatles fan, so I don't always tend to gravitate towards artist covers of Beatles, but there are some really good ones out there. I actually made a list, and I could start with one of the earliest ones on the list that I have. This is not necessarily a song that they heard and decided to cover. I Want to Be Your Man, which was on with the Beatles, was a song that John Lennon and Paul McCartney wrote. They originally wrote it for the Rolling Stones, and as far as I recall, it was their second single. I Want to Be Your Man. It's really like, the With the Beatles version is very like upbeat, and like Ringo sings it, and it's a little, upbeat, like I said. The Rolling Stones version is very like, like downstrokey if you're playing the guitar, and very a little rougher and a little more distort. It's a great version.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We're gonna insert a little audio from that if they don't flag us for copyright.
I know, we might get arrested.
No, I mean we would all get flagged if we do a Beatles song, but no, we're taking the risk. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I didn't know that I always thought they kind of like feuded.
What year was that come out? Yeah.
Well, they certainly may have been some like friendly competition, I suppose. But no, the Stones and the Beatles were always friends. Like, for example, I believe, in the sessions for In a Day in a Life, a couple of them were there. I think Mick Jagger was there. I think Keith was there. I think a couple of them were there. And Mick Jagger was at the All You Need Is Love. That song was recorded for world. It was played all over the world. It was like the British, I forgot the name of the special too, but essentially they had a whole bunch of stars when they did that when they filmed that performance. Mick Jagger was there. They've always been friends with each other. The Stones and the Beatles were always really good friends.
And I think they're different enough where it was, their music was different enough where you can like both, and it's not like, oh, it's the exact same thing. I mean, they were they're all like growing up together. They all came up, became famous around the same time. But yeah, their music is like, the Beatles was more of like for the, the way they represented is like the goody two shoes back in the days, and then the Stones were for like the people that were like more into like rock and stuff. But really, they're both, you know, they were both so good and so important for that time. But yeah, I think I don't even know if I've heard that cover, so I want to listen to that now. What year did that come out?
1963.
Oh, okay, that's an early one.
Oh yeah, like I said, I believe it was only their second single. Their first single was a song called "Come On," which was also a cover by a Chuck Berry cover, and then "I Want to Be Your Man" was number 2.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that. I'm excited to listen to that and check that out.
My pleasure.
Maria, would you like to go next?
Should I go next? Okay.
Yeah.
My cover is actually one of my favorite covers of all time. It happens to be a Beatles cover. And I feel the same way about Beatles. Like, I don't like every single cover, but this particular one is done by one of my favorite bands. And
I really hope that you're not picking the same one I'm picking.
bet you it is.
No, it is.
Great minds think alike, you know.
Is it? So is it?
No. No.
Okay.
It's not. Okay, good.
So, it's the 1984 cover of Dear Prudence by Siouxsie and the Banshees. Which was like probably one of their biggest hits.
Yeah.
Like I think it was like number 3 on the UK charts. And Robert Smith was playing with the Banshees at the time from The Cure, because one of their other band members had left. So he's like on Dear Prudence, and his sister, who was like a piano prodigy, she's actually playing harpsichord in it too. Robert Smith's sister.
Damn, I didn't know that.
It's such a good, gothy, amazing cover. Like, it's so. Do you like that cover, Benjy?
I never heard that one, oddly enough.
Okay, you've probably heard it and just never really like paid attention to it, because I'm pretty sure you've heard it.
That sounds right. I have ADHD. I don't always pay attention to things.
But for me, it's like, because I love the Banshees, I just think that it's so well done. And like I said, they made it their own, but yet there's still like a little gothiness to it. There's still, Siouxsie adds her beautiful voice to it that just makes it their own, so much so that people thought it was their song. And it was like 20 years later, because it was on the White Album, so it came out in 1968, and so it was done in 1984. And my favorite thing about this song is, like, that show Top of the Pops, that's that UK show, they typically do like lip syncing and stuff. That's kind of what's cheesy about it, but also cool. And so when they did their performance of Dear Prudence, Robert Smith's in the background, and he's like he's infamous for hating Top of the Pops and performing on Top of the Pops. So like he's literally playing fake chords and like fake guitar playing because he hates it so much during the song. So that's one of my favorite things about the song. But yeah, that's my cover, Dear Prudence by Siouxsie and the Banshees. I mean,
a really good one.
Written by Lennon McCartney, but equally as beautiful and wonderful by Siouxsie.
A good one. Thank you for sharing that one.
You're welcome.
I was so scared we were going to pick the same one.
I know.
Because
I was like, should I text her? We don't ever do that, but I was like,
I feel like we should never break that tradition.
Yeah.
I knew that I know you've listened to this one. So my favorite Beatles album, I'm actually not super I'm not a super fan of the Beatles, and I have that reputation. I don't hate them, but I will say the White Album is incredible, and that's probably my favorite one. So I needed to pick one off of that. And my first favorite Beatles song was Happiness is a Warm Gun. Mm-hmm. And I really love, I wouldn't say it's just as good, but it's so close to being just as good as the original. But I decided to talk about the Breeders doing Happiness is a Warm Gun off of Pod, which I think came out in... Okay, it looks like it came out in 1990.
So it was before like Cannonball, and that album was like...
That was actually,
first...
oh yeah. So this is actually their debut.
Yeah, their first album.
Yeah. So yeah, I really like it. I think they stay pretty true to the original as far as like the progression goes, and like the I don't want to say the tone, because it's definitely a Breeders song, which I really appreciate. It's got that like like feminine angst to it, kind of like that kick, and I really like that, and it's a lot edgier. But yeah, I love that song, and I love their take on it, and yeah.
Breeders. Can't go wrong with the Breeders.
You
Really
can't.
can't.
And I recommend that you listen to them, Benji. You need to listen to more female-led bands.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my general goals. I just, maybe it's society, maybe it's me. Like a lot of my artists tend to be male. Or
Mine
male.
too. Yeah.
We live in a
I'm just
sexist
trying to
society.
take you out of the Beatles.
Bubble.
I'm trying to pull you out.
Beetle bubble.
I appreciate
Yeah.
the effort.
But yeah, it's hard because like when it's your comfort, like it's something, and it's feel good music, and we've been living in a really like tough time. So why would you want to get out of your Beetle bubble? And it's so comforting and happy, and you know what I mean? Like I get it. I totally get it.
I mean, I've always liked the idea of, expanding my musical horizons and trying more music, because there are lots of artists out there that you think I would like, but I don't really know a lot of. Like, for example, I still only know like a few songs by the Kinks. They're a great group. Never really got too into them. And oddly enough, there is one song of theirs that is among one of my all-time favorite songs. But like besides that, I don't know much else by them. I've always liked the music. I just like the idea of having a bit of a more broad taste.
Yeah. I mean, you have
Yeah.
great taste. I
Thank
wouldn't
you.
say that you have like a really like restricted taste. I think that it's my personal goal to turn you into an indie babe like
Yeah,
us.
right.
Funny you mentioned that. I actually did just recently buy, I would consider this an indie album. I forgot the name of it just now, but it just so happens I had a video call with an old friend of mine from my high school, from being a teenager. We didn't go to high school together, but we were friends as teenagers, and we reconnected. His girlfriend is a singer-songwriter, Haley Blaze, and they're based out of Vancouver. And she put out an album earlier in the year. The name of it escaped me. But I just ordered it because I didn't even I'd met her over the video call. Her boyfriend, his name is Jake. They introduced us, and the first thing I asked her was like, well, I did notice that she was verified on Instagram, and I first thing I asked her was like, how are you verified on Instagram? And of course, I found out she was a fantastic singer and songwriter. And I mean, obviously, of course, I'm biased because it's like one of my dear friends' girlfriends. But besides that, she happens to be incredible. And I forgot the name of the album, so I would consider her indie.
Haley
I did get one
Blaze?
indie album recently. Yeah,
Haley Blaze. Okay.
Haley
I'll look
Blaze.
her
Yeah,
up.
she's
sweet.
fantastic.
That's awesome. See, it's
Yeah.
awesome when
I
you
do
support
notice,
your
though, if you're
friends,
not-
too.
Yeah. I noticed that if you're not listening to like the Beatles or like classic rock bands, like I do know that you tend to support really small like indie artists.
Oh yeah, it's
That's
interesting.
awesome.
There's a one from California who I don't listen to as much anymore, but I've always really liked them. They're called the She's. They're based out of San Francisco. First saw a song of theirs in like some kind of Converse YouTube ad years ago, and I really got hooked by it. And so I really started to really enjoy the music. I actually have one of their albums on vinyl, too.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, and
That's
the
so
Haley
random,
album,
too.
Haley Blaze album is called Below the Salt.
Below the Salt
Below the
by
Salt,
Haley
yeah.
Blaze.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So check that out if anyone wants to listen to some new indie music.
Yeah.
I like that you heard that one song in a Converse commercial.
Yeah, it's a really interesting story. And they're all female band too, which made it even cooler, I think.
Yeah.
Is there
I
a
would
song
say that
you
they're one of the
guys-
few
Sorry.
mostly female groups that I really got to know on a deeper level.
The She's.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look them up.
Yeah.
Is there a song that you guys, because this brings up a good point of like commercial music and like actually a song that I had heard before but never really looked into, and then I heard it on like a beautiful commercial. Like this was before I had Ione, so probably like 22, 23 years ago. There was a VW commercial with the Nick Drake song Pink Moon.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was like, what is that song? Like, and and this is big really before internet was like really like immediately, you couldn't look at your phone
The
immediately.
Super Bowl commercial, right?
No, it might have been, but it was like a group of friends that were like all hanging out, like driving down the coast in their bug.
Yeah.
And like it was just like and I was their age. So I was that age range where I was like, I want to do that. So that's where I think I really discovered Pink Moon. And it was like, I don't know, 20 some years ago. But it was so well done. And I love when commercials do that, and it brings access to like songs that, you're not like, oh, I've heard that. And then you do research and you find it.
Yeah.
Because Nick Drake wasn't like really famous in his day. Like he didn't.
No.
I was talking to. It's funny that you say that because I remembered that song from somewhere. And then I was talking to Nick, who owns this record store by my house. It's called Up the Creek. Yes. That's the
Yes.
one. I love how you just had that.
It's funny. I finally got it over the summer, and it is one of those albums I've heard so much about but I never listened to. So I finally got it.
It's
so
one of my
amazing.
favorite albums of all time.
Cheers.
It's
I've been
a good
going
one.
back
So
to
fucking
it.
good.
I've been going back to it a lot in the last 3 months or so. I've been listening to it a lot.
Yeah, and they play him at Barnes and Noble like all the time. But anyway, so like I was
Awesome.
saying,
Anyways.
Nick was I was buying I think I was buying that one. Or I think not
Leaves
important.
one.
So I was talking about Nick Drake to him, and I was like, yeah, like he's someone that I discovered like a lot like later. And he was like, yeah, you and everyone else. Because that Volkswagen
Exactly.
commercial made him like gain so much exposure, and then they started like repressing like his music, which I'm so thankful for. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Fightful
aside
Coco.
from that, I remember, you guys know Saint Lucia?
Heard of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So
Sounds familiar.
I
All Eyes on
remember.
You from that
Yes.
Taco Bell commercial.
Yes.
I was literally like in the fucking movie theater, and I pulled out my phone because I was like, what is this song? And I don't know if you guys
I
do this, but
remember
like
when
I
that-
Google
yeah.
the
Shazam?
lyrics
I just use
okay.
Shazam.
I use
But
Shazam and then I'll
sometimes-
Google lyrics.
because sometimes Shazam doesn't pull it
won't
up.
pick it up. Yeah.
And I didn't want to be that person in the movie theater with the bright blue screen. Like, you know? Anyway.
Yeah, you gotta kind of like be cool about it. You're like, I don't want anyone to know I don't know this song.
If my friends show me though, I'll just probably ask them. But
Yeah.
if it's like in public, it's kind of embarrassing to just be like,
I actually do that at Amoeba, and because you know how like they always play cool stuff, but I'm like, I refuse to buy what they're playing. I'm like, I am not going to do that. I am not going to be that dork that's like, where's that album that you're playing, and then buy it. I mean, I
Shut
should
up.
though, but I do
you want to
make
know
notes.
what's
I just something happened to me once. I mean, when I go to record stores, I also generally don't I just kind of go what I go for. I always go to the Beatles section first and then just kind of go from there. But years ago, I was at a record store by me called Mr. Cheapo's, which is the first record store I ever really went to, also back like over 12 years ago. And they played a cover of White Room by Cream.
Oh,
But it was
nice.
a cover, like I said, it was done by Ace Frehley from Kiss.
Oh
I
wow.
put it on, and that song just like blew my mind. Like I remember just like being like so impressed and amazed by it. And I Shazammed it, and I didn't look for the record, but I just I found the song on
made
iTunes, and I
note.
just bought it on iTunes right in that spot.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it was incredible. I don't remember many other times where I've had a moment like that, but
Yeah,
that
that's
cover
awesome.
just knocked my socks off.
Love that song.
Yeah.
I was kind of laughing when you mentioned that, Maria, because when I went to Amoeba like a week ago, I literally Shazammed a song and I was debating on buying it. It's
I
right
was
here.
like,
Look,
ah, damn them.
it's
I'll buy it next time.
Rufus Wainwright.
Oh,
Rufus
yes.
Wainwright. Rufus
I don't know
Wainwright.
what it is.
He has a great Beatles cover. You know that I Am Sam soundtrack is like filled with
Oh,
Beatles
yeah.
covers, and he does. Which song does he do? I forget, but his and of course the Pearl Jam, like that whole album, that whole soundtrack is just Beatles covers. It's an amazing soundtrack.
I think I've
But
never
yeah.
listened to that. I know he did a cover of Hallelujah by Leonard Cohen for I think for like the
Oh, yeah.
Shrek soundtrack or something. I remember
Yeah.
really liking that. But oddly enough, I'm a
That's-
bigger fan
yeah.
of Rufus Wainwright's mom and aunt than I am of his music. His mom and aunt are Kate and Anna McGarrigle, and they put out great music too.
Yeah. What letter do you guys usually start shopping at? Do you guys have a thing that you do that's like a weird thing that you do when you shop?
Oh yeah, I do.
Me too.
I always start at the letter B.
Really?
Yeah, well, as you know, the Beatles are my favorite group. But the truth is, a lot of my favorite artists start with B. Beach Boys are one of my other favorites. The band, the B. A lot of my favorite artists start with B. I mean, some of them are by first name, so not all of them are B. But like even the artists that the last names are like Bob Dylan, Bruce Springsteen, like
You start with a B.
I always start with B because Beatles and Beach Boys in the
That's a
band.
good
are all-
idea. Yeah.
Yeah, and it has to be the first letter of my first name. So
That's
Yeah.
true. One of my exes, who actually was like a huge collector, that's many years ago, he actually got me he would start at S's because there's so many like bands that start with S, and like it's really one
true.
of the biggest sections. So he was like, he always used to start at S, and then I think like I forget which one was after that, but like, so like I'll go to S because usually, everyone starts with like A, B, and then they're like all in that section. So I'm like, I'm gonna skip you and go to S anyways. So yeah, that's what I do. What do you
For
do?
me, I normally start at the section that, like, where people like had just recently sold to them and they have like the new
Yes, new
ones.
arrivals.
mhm.
Yeah, like at Amoeba in particular, I always start there because what I find is I'll go and I always start at A otherwise. So um A to Z, but then what I find is if I do that and then I have like 3 records that I really like, because if I'm going to the record store, I'm gonna buy more than one record.
Yeah.
So because then I get mad. And then I
Right.
see everything and then I leave and I'm like, fuck, I should have bought that. But anyway, so what I find is if I go through the whole alphabet and I pull like 3 or 4 and then I go to that section, I find so many gems that are like, they're used, but they're cheaper. And so I'm like, fuck,
Right.
I should have,
Start
looked
here.
through that. And now I have these that I have to sort through and I don't know which one to buy.
Then you start doing the math. You're like, damn, I'm at $300.
Have you guys dropped $300 at a record store before?
I
Yes.
have.
I think I have. Yeah.
Yeah. Not
Yeah.
all the time, but I have.
Yeah,
Like
same.
when I have some cash, like I go with the intention of like I'm about to drop some cash.
Only got 25 or $20 in my pocket. to
But other
quote,
than that, that's why I'm
Macklemore.
saying I was telling Brenda just the other day because we were talking about how people do meetups for like,
Yeah.
like Instagram people will do record meetups and my cats are always doing something. I don't like to shop with people because it's really like personal to me. I'm like in my little, weird zone. But I do like to what was I saying?
Shopping with Instagram friends and stuff like that.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. We were just talking about how we just don't, because when I do go to the record store, I don't want to just buy one record. So I'm going to go there with the intention of staying 2 hours, 3 hours, which isn't all the time, because a lot of times if I know what I'm going to buy, I just buy online or like from Discogs or Bandcamp or something like that. But when I want to be inspired, I like to go to the store.
Same. If there's something I know that I want, I'll just go get it online. But if there's something if I ever just feel like spending money with and just don't know what I want, have an open mind, I go to the record store. You never know what you're going to find there.
Right.
Sometimes you'll just get so surprised by the cool things you find at a record store.
I just love the vibe, honestly.
vibe.
Like my ideal day is getting a nice coffee at Dunkin' because this bitch runs on Dunkin', and then going to the record store, browsing. But obviously, like you're wearing a cute outfit because you can't go to the record store and you can't look janky at the record store. You can't.
Yeah, you can't.
You have to.
You
gotta
can,
look your
but then you
best.
might run into someone,
Well, see, that's the thing is I have this scenario in my head that one day
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to meet a cute guy at the record store and he's going to be holding like a cool, like indie record I've never heard of. And then he's going to see me and I'm going to be looking so cute with my iced coffee and like my records in hand. And he's going to be like, wow, like you have really good taste in music. And I'm going to be like, yeah, I do. Do you want to make out? And he's going to be like, yeah, I like your outfit. So that's the scenario that I have planned.
That's an amazing scenario. I started going.
He'll make out with you regardless. There's no, like, they don't care about the outfit, but it does help. I guess.
It would help.
Yeah.
Well, Brenda has a great personality and outfit. Those two things combined
you.
really, really,
And huge
makes Brenda a
tits. Just
huge
kidding.
catch.
Thank you.
Of course,
You can catch these hands. Just kidding. Anyway,
I find that a lot of the record stores by me, like a lot of the ones I went to over the years, they are a little. I mean, they're great, but they're all a little like smelly. Like you know,
Yeah,
a lot of
totally.
records in there. Sometimes the employees are eating their lunch, so it also smells like food. There's some weird smells at some of the record stores. I don't know if that's just where the ones I go to. There is an exception. There's this new store that opened like over a year ago that I do post about a lot on my page. It's called Moonshot Emporium. It's in the North Shore of Long Island. The guys who run it are fantastic, and I've met some. I go there with Tim a lot, Hits and Hops, and I met another Instagram guy, Record Nuggets. He lives around there too, and
Yeah,
I
he's
met him
awesome.
there as well. So that for me, that was fun going to the record stores with the other record people, as you were talking about before, Maria. That was just fantastic, and just running into them there too was really great.
Yeah.
The
And I
last
guess
time I went shopping at Amoeba because we had just opened one, our new one. I almost fainted because they had a water lot. They had like a water damage situation, and it was in the summer, so it was already hot. And then they had dehumidifiers and fans, so it was
Oh
like
God.
extra hot. And then in the mask, and then I didn't bring water, so I literally was like going to the corner, like pulling my mask down, like going.
Oh my
trying to get
God.
air, and I was like, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die for
Jeez.
this record today. But yeah, it was pretty intense, but it was fun.
Yeah. Life's pretty tough in the trenches when you're digging through those crates. And you'll have to come back at some point.
Oh hell yeah!
We were talking
We're gonna
to
use that sound bit. We're gonna use that sound.
yeah,
Oh,
can you say
hell
that one
yeah.
more time, please? Closer to the mic.
Oh hell yeah!
Perfect. Well, that one was different. That one was different. It had a different tone.
Let me do it one more time. Oh hell yeah!
Now, can you do that one more time?
Sure. Oh hell yeah!
A little bit different, please.
Oh hell yeah!
No, deeper.
Wait, deeper?
Yeah, like you're like in an AutoZone commercial. Please.
Oh hell yeah!
Deeper. Come on.
Oh hell yeah!
No. Come on. I know you can do this. Tony the Tiger.
Oh hell yeah!
That was a little Kool-Aid man.
Oh yeah!
Oh hell yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh
we go.
hell yeah! This the first time I did it right, and it just all went downhill from there. Oh hell no! This is not going well.
The timer went off. Did you see that?
It still says
Oh, I didn't
recording
notice.
though.
No, I mean like it says like the 40-minute mark is not there anymore.
Yeah.
Oh,
and it
because
says
I saw a thing
recording,
that was
so-
like it's been extended by the
That did
Oh.
not come up for me.
came
Not
up
me
for me.
neither.
Came up for me.
Okay, well,
Interesting.
We're still on
either
then.
way. People are gonna be like, people are gonna be like, oh,
why are they still talking?
We're just chatty Cathy's, you know. Hell yeah to being chatty Cathy's.
one more time, just kidding.
Hell yeah.
She's gonna make like a bloopers. It's just you saying, "Oh hell."
That is the content I love.
Can we do something? This
Yeah.
is not gonna make it in. This will make
Sure.
it in the audio,
Okay.
audio one. Actually, we'll put this in both. I want to make a blooper, and I want to make it seem like you always say hell yeah. So can you just say like different things, but like incorporate hell yeah into it, and I'll make an edit of it. People will be like, I didn't think Benjy said hell yeah all the time. Your family will be like, what the heck? But
No, they'd be like, what the hell?
they would.
'Cause
Sure,
that's where you
I'm
got
down
it
for
from.
anything. Now, I guess gotta find funny things to say, like
No, you don't have. Just say like, or we'll take turns saying something, and you'll be like, oh yeah, hell yeah. But say it in like a different way each time,
yeah,
so
sure.
that way when I edit it, you know, the beauty of
Yeah.
post production. Okay, Maria, you want to
Fantastic.
say
Alright,
something
yeah, I'll say
random?
it.
Hell yeah to
Yeah, so-
post production, you know.
So you've been our second guest. That's so cool.
Hell yeah, Maria. I'm just so honored to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, I do have to say it was awesome meeting you and your family in Long Island. New York is awesome.
Hell yeah, Brenda. I had the best time. You and Val were just such fantastic guests. My parents and my sisters and I, we all had such a fantastic time having you over. it was one of the highlights of my hectic summer.
Yeah.
Long Island.
Hell yeah. Long Island. Wait, let me start that one over. Long Island. I love it. One of the reasons why I love it so much is because we have the best pizza and the best bagels. So anytime I eat those foods, I just think to myself, hell yeah. So damn good.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Maria and I are both from California, and the weather's a bit different. Would you say that? Have you ever been to California? Have you?
Yeah, I was in California many years ago. I was on a teen tour when I was in high school, and I remember just being amazed with it. But one of the best things that happened to me in California was my first kiss. And after that happened,
Oh.
I was just like, hell yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Would you? Is there like an album that you have by the Beatles that you would recommend people would start listening to?
That's a great
First.
question.
Oh wow. What's going on?
One of my favorite albums of all time is Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. And I have 10 copies of it on vinyl. And it just so happens that I never mentioned this before, but at least not publicly, on the podcast, I had brain surgery in August, and I'm fine now. When Brenda saw me at my house, I still had the stitches in my head, and my head was all like, it was the whole thing.
Yeah,
Anyway,
you had a really big head.
it was huge. But thankfully I don't look like that anymore. But before my surgery, my sister's recent Carly got me a record box, Sgt. Pepper record box.
That's cool.
Awesome.
And I was so flattered by this kind gesture by my sisters. I just went to them both and gave them just the biggest hug. Hell yeah, it was just like such a beautiful moment between my sisters and I. And now that's where I keep all the copies of my favorite album of all time, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band by the Beatles. And every time I listen to it, I just think to myself, hell yeah.
Great.
And
yeah, that's awesome.
here's a fun story. Brenda once got me an amazing record, the Charlie Brown one. It's a great pumpkin Charlie Brown. And I wanted to get something for Brenda in return. And I knew Brenda's favorite Beatles album was the White Album, but being the cocky guy that I am, I was like, I'm just gonna get her Sgt. Pepper.
You got me
I
Sgt. Pepper, but that's
I wanted to just turn Brenda. I wanted Brenda to listen to Sgt. Pepper and just be like, hell yeah, Benjy's been right this whole time. I'm kidding. No, that's not actually what I was thinking. I appreciate you saying that. No, I just got it for you because I just figured
and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I thoroughly appreciate that. And I want to go on the record and say I don't think that the Beatles suck. I think John Lennon sucks as a person. But I don't think the Beatles suck. I just don't listen to them very much because a lot of people think that I hate the Beatles. I don't hate the Beatles. I need to go on record saying that, especially because I don't want to ruin our friendship, Benjy.
You wouldn't have ruined my friendship. I already know you like the Beatles. I knew that already. And sometimes there's certain aspects to friendships that are more important than music tastes. And I could have.
I think I have to disagree with that.
Well, I mean, when you become, well, I know. Well, it's one of the most important ones. But sometimes you meet someone and you click so well, and you let things slide.
Yeah.
And even if you hated the Beatles, our friendship is very important to me, and I would have just been like, okay.
What would have been the thing that would have deterred you, though?
At first, I would have probably just been like, hell no. But you learn to live with it.
Yeah.
So withVinylBenjy on Instagram. So thank you for joining us, Benjy, and hell yeah, thanks for coming. We had a lot of fun, and we're gonna have another guest next week. Brittany, Life with Beema on Instagram.
Oh, Brittany, yeah, she's great.
Yeah, she's gonna be our third. I have to confirm with her, but she'll be our third guest. So thanks for joining us. I'm Maria, Miss Modular on Instagram.
I'm Brenda, Bren RPM on Instagram.
And I'm withVinylBenjy. Hell yeah.
Thank you guys.
Guys.
My pleasure.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.